What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, we actually have somewhat of a good news story to talk about with WB and a game actually releasing. Can you believe it? So, not too much, but there was questions about TT Games, right? Lego makers, all that jazz. And what we had was Jason Schreier on Kind of Funny, and they were talking about the fallout, right, of the WB mess and Monolith and all that stuff. And they were asked, I think a fan maybe asked, about specifically TT Games, right? And, what's going on there. I didn't actually know/remember, I guess leadership of that studio left to do Funko Fusion. That is kind of alarming because that game was very not good, and Lego games generally are pretty good. So I don't know what happened there, but anyway, they've lost some leadership, and people, have been a little concerned about what's going on there. And Jason Schreier talks about, just outright says, that he knows that they are working on a game, a Lego game. It is coming out, and it's either coming out at the very end of this year or next year, but he says, I think 2 or 3 times, he says next year. He thinks it was something, he kind of lost in his memory, so he doesn't know 100% sure, but he thinks it's coming next year. So that's pretty much it. He knows what it is. He knows what the franchise, he knows the property, whatever it might be, but he's not going to say it. And I think that's fair. That would really, at this point, it's actually the most fun kind of aspect of this entire thing, right? Is figuring out, okay, and that's what we can talk about even in this video, what are they working on? I will say, number one, great news. It's been a little while since the Skywalker saga. And, that game is an interesting one. At the time, I remember super loving it. As time has gone on, I love it far less. I feel like it did some things well, and it pushed the series in kind of new directions, but it sacrificed a lot of the kind of classic and, feel-good kind of energy of the Lego game. So with any WB game, you really should not be sold on the future direction. Maybe Hogwarts Legacy 2, but beyond that, and maybe even that, should have a healthy dose of skepticism. All of these games, we should probably go in thinking, okay, you got to prove it to me. So I'll just be honest. That's kind of where I'm at with this Lego game. You got to prove it. But at the same time, it is exciting because, you're probably a year or so away from this game coming out. And then, okay, so what is this thing? Now, there was the rumors of the Harry Potter stuff, right? But then they ended up doing that remaster port type thing just a little while ago, and I never actually ended up getting that. I probably should. So that came out, and we had heard that they were going to do something along the lines of like the Skywalker saga for Harry Potter. That was like the original rumor. But then they did a Harry Potter thing, and it wasn't like the Skywalker saga, but it was bringing them back. So, was that the same rumor? So the reason I'm bringing that up is honestly where I'm at. It's like a 50-50 of it's literally just going to be the Skywalker saga for Harry Potter, and they're still going to do that. Or it's going to be, I guess, something else. Now, okay, well, what could that something else obviously be? I'll throw out Batman just to say, okay, well, number one, obviously it's a bankable type thing. Actually, that's probably like the biggest reason, right? Bankable thing. You've already done a couple of them. It's been a little while considering it takes so long to make these games nowadays. And just because of like the pillars of WB games, what they want to focus on, all the stuff they've talked about, right? It just feels almost safe and secure, to do Lego Batman. So I don't know. As of right now, I feel like that's what's going to happen. You have a lot of, I saw people that were kind of theorizing, could you do like a Hobbit and Lord of the Rings and do like an ultimate, maybe like a Skywalker saga, honestly, for something like that, like really up them, I guess, to modern time. I think that would definitely be an interesting one. I don't know. You just kind of have to think about, or at least I'm thinking about those pillars that they talk about, right? Like they want Game of Thrones and they want Mortal Kombat and they want DC and stuff. And it's like, I don't know, Harry Potter, that's a bit, the wizarding world. I feel like that one makes a lot of sense. But I guess the good news is we don't have that long to wait, because if it's coming out in the next 12, 14 months maximum, you're probably going to see it actually rather soon. Now, they also have to show freaking the definitive edition of Hogwarts Legacy, right? But I imagine they would show their next game probably within the next couple months, like maybe Summer Game Fest, maybe Gamescom, somewhere around that time. I feel like that would be a pretty good time to show it off. So at least that's one thing. At this point, we're really fighting for any wins that we can get. So I will take this. I will take this as a victory. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.